All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash. Giving double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Peace and salutations to the Akim, the brethren out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth in 100% sincerity. And peace and salutations to the few and sincere sisters who believe in this gospel. So I want to entitle this lesson, E for Esau will pay for all the wickedness he has done, right? And got this inspiration through a post on Twitter or X.com, which I'm about to read here in a second. Some brothers shared it in the chat, and it was it reading through it angered me, and inspired me to do this lesson, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's about George Stinney Jr., right? And George Stinney Jr. was falsely convicted of murder, the murder of two Edomite girls, and he was cruelly put to death for it. And recently they just proved that he didn't do it. I believe centuries later. I mean, not centuries, but decades later. And there's nothing going to happen to the government, the people who did it, or the system. There's not going to be any punishment from, because Esau's not going to punish his own system. For wrongfully killing Jake, which is why we depend on the Lord. This is why we depend on Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai for judgment, right? To judge righteously, to judge righteous judgment here in this place, man. So let's go ahead and read the story, right? It says, George Stinney Jr. was falsely convicted and murdered by the U.S. at only 14. He was accused of killing two white girls, Betty of 11 years old and Mary of 7. The bodies were found near the house where the boy resided with his parents. Before the execution, George spent 81 days in prison without being able to see his parents. He was held in solitary confinement, 80 miles from the city. He was held alone without anybody to talk to. He was heard alone without the presence of his parents or a lawyer, right? So completely going against the quote-unquote laws here in America. But it's a 14-year-old boy. He has no one he who didn't do it in the first place, but he's basically helpless in this situation, man. They isolated him, didn't really give him a fair trial. And you know what I'm saying? And they put him to death for something that he didn't do, right? At that time, all the jurors were white. The trial lasted only 2 hours and the sentence was handed down 10 minutes later. The boy's parents were not allowed in the courtroom and were subsequently expelled from that city after the trial. During his trial, until the day of his execution, he always carried a Bible in his hands. Claiming for innocence, he was too short for the electric chair, so they used the Bible he was carrying as a booster seat. He was electrocuted with 5,380 volts in the head. And if you understand anything, man, that's a painful death, right? 70 years later, 7 decades, 70 years, his innocence was finally proved by a judge in South Carolina. The beam with which the two girls were killed weighed more than 19 kilograms. Therefore, it was impossible for Stinney to be able to lift it, let alone be able to hit hard enough to kill them. The Green Mile by Stephen King was inspired by the same case, right? And I've seen the movie The Green Mile, and it was It was sad. You know what I'm saying? It was a sad case, man. But this is the wickedness of this damn devil who at any opportunity will take a young Jake and put him to death for something that he didn't do. Probably, and here it is, probably knowing the person who really did it, who was really behind it, which was probably an Edomite, most likely. And I'm pretty sure the Edomite who did it never got punished, never got put to death for it, never turned himself in, never confessed. He allowed this little Jake to be put to death for something that he didn't do. So this is why we're crying out to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to come and judge this place, man. To come and put these people, put these heathen, put these Edomites under harsh, cruel punishment, man. That's what's required in order to make things right in the earth, in order to make things right for what's happened to us as a people. So look, let's go here. I'm going to go here to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 49, right? And it says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. So these devils don't give a damn who you are. They don't care that you're 14 years old. They don't care that there was no way that you could have ever committed this crime. It was just really an excuse just to kill a Jake, just to kill an Israelite. And these devils, they have this cruel fetish for seeing Jake being tormented and in pain, right? But that's going to turn over on you. That's going to flip around on you, right? And we're going to have that same craving and desire to see you Edomites in pain, to see you Edomites suffering. So that's what's going to happen, man. That's what's going to happen. Lord willing, man, this is the year of Jacob's trouble. And we're just another step closer to putting you heathen, especially you Edomites, under harsh, stomp down, you know what I'm saying, subjection, man. You're going to be our subjects. Right? It's the book of Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. It says, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich. And their own shepherds pity them not. Right? So these people have been our possessors, you know, because they've had us in captivity for the past 4 or 5 centuries. Right? And they kill our people. They put us in jail, most of the times wrongfully. Most of the time, you know, the ones who they do that to, they didn't do anything wrong, didn't commit a crime. Just like George Stinney Jr. didn't commit a crime or anything, but they put him to death and blame somebody else's murder on him. And I bet they're all saying, you know, the Edomite who did it, because most likely it was an Edomite, the person who did it is not being held guilty. The United States is not holding themselves guilty for wrongfully killing and convicting and killing somebody. You know, they do this all the time. They do this all the time to Jake. You know, they'll get a Jake for a crime and sentence him to death. And there will be, and you know, it's almost no way to appeal for him. This is not, you know, this is a common thing here in Babylon the Great. But these devils aren't going to say, well, we need, you know what I'm saying? There's something that needs to be done about it. Because what really needs to be done is, for one, you to be taken out of power. And for two, for you to be put in harsh captivity. Right? So you can't roam around the earth freely anymore, man. And do the things that y'all have been doing. Because not only do you do this, you go around destroying the earth, destroying other societies, destroying other countries, civilizations, cultures. Ever since this devil has came into power and it came into rulership in the earth, man, there's been nothing but destruction. Right? It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 15 and verse 5. It says, who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? Because none of these other nations, none of these other people, they don't care that this stuff happens to us. They don't care. They do not give a damn that this is a common reality for us Israelites here in Babylon the Great. A lot of them will participate in it. But this is nothing that they care about or care to do anything about it. The UN, the United Nations, they know what's going on here in Babylon the Great. Are they doing anything? They know what's going on and what's happening to the Israelites here in Babylon the Great. Are they doing anything about it? No. Hell, they're going to aid the U.S., if anything. But it's not for us to, it's not for these other nations or other countries to stand up for us. We're not dependent on them, man. Right? The true men of the Lord and the true believers are dependent on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai to fulfill prophecy. And the fulfillment of prophecy is where our get back comes in. That's where our get back comes from, man. The fulfillment of prophecy. Because we're going to get our get back, man. We're going to get our time with these devils, man. Of punishing these devils. 1,000 years of it, too. So look, man, this is what's going to happen to these devils, man. So look, it says Ezekiel chapter 35, starting at verse 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. And sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So that's a payment. Payment is going to come back on these damn Edomites, man. Mount Seir being representing the nation of Esau. with the nation of Edom. And the Lord is going to put that hell back on these Edomites, man, through harsh captivity. Via who? Via us. From Yahweh Shah to King David on down. Lord willing, we be of that number, you know what I'm saying, to be in the 144,000 who are going to rule in the kingdom. Right? But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, man, is working. Right? And this is going to be something, man, the Lord is we're going to get our payback. Is what I'm trying to say. That's really the point that I'm trying to make, man, is we're going to get our payback. We're going to get our payback. So look, that was Lord willing, the point was made. And this was edifying and straight to the point. So I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone. Shalom.